actually, and thank you for the compliment. This was given to me by some Nara students some years ago. Actually, it was the very first Nara class, and this was a very Afrocentric group. They were from an Afrocentric congregation here, and they gave me this as a Kwanzaa gift. And it was around, not far from my birthday, so it was like a birthday / Kwanzaa gift, right? And I've had it for years, and really, when they gave it to me, I didn't know what it was. And years later, I found out that it's actually what we call in the ancient world a talisman pouch, or if we use Western language, like a prayer pouch. And basically, you can put prayers or different spiritual things in it, and wearing it becomes like, almost like there's a scripture in the Bible that says, pray without ceasing. So this is one of the ways that the original people did that. You know, you could say the prayer, but you could also have it on your person in the form of a pouch. And so it's like wearing it, it's like wearing the energy. So you could even take particular scriptures, like if you put the Lord's Prayer, you could put one of the Psalms in here, which the Lord Prayer, different things like that. And so this literal symbol in the ancient tongue means the supremacy of God. God is supreme. So I wear it now. I decided to pull it out. I found it as I was
purchase your tracks today.
Some of my archives and decided to wear it. So now, level 1, you asked about level 1 detoxification being like level 1. So when I'm speaking of levels, what am I saying? Levels to what? Levels to elevation in terms of becoming fully realized as the divine beings that we are. The scriptures say, ye are all God's children of the Most High. So as children of the Supreme Being, there's levels to awakening to that realization. And detoxification is the first level. In the ancient world, in just about every system, you will have these levels. I will pick from a very, very popular one in the Kabbalah teachings that the Jews today use. It's an ancient Hebrew teaching, and you find it in different parts of the world. It originated, of course, among the ancient Kemetic people. In that level 1 in this particular system, just for example, there was a being depicted as Geb, or he was the being that covered the mundane world. So this would cover everything of earthly. So when you see that scripture where it says on earth as it is in heaven, the on earth part is diet, hygiene, that would mean external and internal hygiene, all kind of energy sciences, domestic cleansing, what we call today the science of feng shui. These different things all deal with the mundane world, but the first is the detoxification of the blood. And ironically, if you was to put that diagram, the tree of life along the body, you would see the first level right here where the gut is. Because the gut, this is the trash can of the system, but it's also the root system to where all of the organs are fed. Nutritionally, when you absorb food, all of that takes place right here. So this has to be clean in order for everything else to function. So this is like the first step. So in this information age where you have a lot of high sciences that are being studied, in the ancient world, the door will be closed on you to even talk about particular sciences before addressing level 1, the gut. You wouldn't even be talking about, clairvoyance and clairaudience and telepathic abilities and different levels of the spirit. They would close the door on you for even asking questions about that until and unless first you cleanse the gut. When Pythagoras, who people know him popularly, he's popular for the Pythagorean theorem in algebra, trigonometry. He went to Egypt to study ancient math, and they told him you're going to have to fast for 40 days before we even consider teaching you. He says, because your blood won't be able to comprehend what we're going to teach. Now notice they didn't say your brain won't, your blood won't be able to comprehend. So this is implying that the blood has a comprehending ability. There's comprehension levels to the blood. Well, of course, Dr. Emoto, who did the book, The Hidden Messages in the Water, he helped us with this by showing that water is actually a recording device that has consciousness. So where he took bottles of water and put particular words on the bottles, and when he did that, the water responded with particular shapes and diagrams that showed the effect of that particular word on the water. Well, the body is at least 80% water. The way that the blood will respond through the brain, through expression, is based off of how clean the blood is. And so this is why detoxification is first. It is the first of the spiritual sciences. It is the real baptism. If you go study the Essene Gospel of Peace, which if you go and sign up and register at thescienceofeverythinginlife.com, send us your email and we'll send you out a free copy of the Essene Gospel of Peace. And this was actually the Aramaic dietary teachings of Jesus, the historical person that the world calls today Jesus. This was his dietary teaching. And it focused primarily on cleansing the body. This was the real baptism, not just being dipped in water, but cleansing the temple of God, which is the human body, according to that teaching. So forget about the upper realms, the fruits of the spirit. You can't even get to the tree to pick the fruit from the spirit if the system is in a polluted state. So this is what I mean by detoxify the body is level 1. Detoxing is the most esoteric thing that could be done, because when you eat, where does the food go? It goes inside. That's esoteric, the inner. So what you're putting in the body is going to determine the level of the blood, which is going to affect the level of awareness and consciousness and spiritual abilities. So I'm saying that cleansing the blood and eating the proper way is the most spiritual thing that can be done, the most esoteric thing that can be done, but it is also the most overlooked thing because of that very thing. We do everything else but that. We'll go and fast and pray and do lock-ins and whatnot, and then we'll have all of the poisonous food at that lock-in, blocking the very spirit that we're trying to communicate to. So I'm saying detoxing is the most spiritual thing that can be done.
Purchase your tracks